Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got White House news, Web3, payment giant Visa, NYDIG, and record-setting transaction numbers, India, CBDC, and crypto taxes, Hester Peirce, SEC on the rule changes. We'll get into it. Perry Ann Boring from the Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to talk about that and the calamity of agencies that are involved there, and the U.S. Treasury, the Fed, and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackUpBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. $1.653 trillion market cap for crypto. We've lost the gains and more this afternoon. 5.48% down on the market here. 38,800 for Bitcoin. We see Ethereum 2,700 plus. We see Cardano is coming in at $1.07. Solana is at $111 and change. XRP is at 62 cents here. Everything's fighting to stay green. 0.6071 on the bottom, 0.6312 on the top. I do want to tell you that the numbers are brought to you by Ledger Nano. Be careful out here. I'm getting contacted about tons of scams. Everything from different exchanges. These impersonators are acting like they're a certain crypto exchange or they're your bank or what have you. It's like, please be careful. I think one of the safest things I can tell you to do is I like having some of my crypto. I don't have it all. I'm kind of split up, but I like having some of it on my ledger, knowing that it is on cold storage. And I do know that right now you can get Ledger Live, and you can also buy, sell, hold, and trade your crypto inside of their platform, and it goes directly onto your Ledger Nano. How about that one? The other thing I can tell you is that, you know, with all of these scams out here, you're best to assume if you're ever contacted by any exchange that you use or bank, assume it is a scam first. Work backwards from there. Whenever I'm contacted by an exchange, I go to the exchange and contact them directly from their website, and then I continue my communication from there. So make sure you check out the link in the description and comment section there. Let's take a look at this. Let's get Bitcoin over 41,000, says ProCoin News, and let the fun really begin. He says, I have a really good feeling we might see fireworks heading into the weekend. Well, you know what? I know a lot of people hearing this that would not be upset about that. ProCoin News, the drudge of crypto. Make sure you give them a follow. Link for that in the description as well. Wendy Rogers in Arizona, who recently introduced the Bitcoin as legal tender bill, is wondering why every time she says Bitcoin, why do people keep saying XRP? What is XRP, she says. Well, I say to her, I would be glad to talk friendly conversation with you on my show about why people keep mentioning XRP. I would also be glad to discuss your recent bill for Bitcoin as legal tender in Arizona as well. Please contact me to set up a time. Looking right here, the White House is warning latest jobs data will be ugly, and they call it a booming economy. This is the problem here. You know, it's like, I mean, you know, as many years as I've lived on this earth, you know, you have to understand they are going to lie to you, and that's what they do on a regular basis. And that's what we're looking at here. And, you know, maybe that's why Wendy wants to see Bitcoin as legal tender, so people can really put their money somewhere else and hope that they could ride the upside while the economy may go on the downside. We'll have to see. Oh, look, it's Ethereum. Transactions are running as of 1 hour ago, $19.61 for gas fee on the low end to $214.83 on the high side. It's the new Web3, everyone. You better know what you hold, because the gas fees are unsustainable. Somebody's going to get left out here holding those gas fees with no profit. Now, I'm not saying there won't be upside to Ethereum, but at some point, those gas fees don't get fixed. That network is toast. 100 million XRP shifted with Binance's participation here. We don't know where the money really went or where and all the details involved here. Some are suggesting in the article here that it could have been CZ Binance that actually moved some of that from at least one end of that transaction, but it always fascinates me when we see that much moved, understanding that Ripple is not selling to exchanges. According to the most recent Q4 report, payments giant Visa says crypto-related transactions skyrocketing in fiscal first quarter of 2022. Now, there's a surprise, right? Not really. I mean, think about it. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Everything is moving so quickly now that these payment providers are tracking massive transactions skyrocketing for crypto like Visa. It's no wonder when you see a bill introduced like what Wendy Rogers is doing in Arizona to make Bitcoin legal tender. These payment companies are processing large amounts of crypto transactions that the executive order is now being considered a matter of national security. A recent NY Digital report found that Bitcoin had settled more transactions in volume Q1 2021 than all credit card networks combined for the entire year, when including intra-network transactions. We go into this and they're putting some numbers together here, but look at this. It says here that the report stated that Bitcoin processed $3 trillion worth of payments during 2021, placing it above popular credit card networks like American Express at $1.3 trillion and Discover at $0.5 trillion. It does go on down here that it should be noted that there are much bigger payment volumes moving through MasterCard and Bitcoin. They have yet to surpass that. So we will keep an eye on those numbers and if they're able to grow beyond. But I do think that we're going to see something this year is what the March is really feeling like here with the executive order on the heels of dropping and getting some details on how crypto will be approached. I believe it will be the Treasury and FSOC and OFAC that will be the referee that sets the agencies correct on where they need to be in their regulation of digital assets. And isn't it a shame that India, to launch its own digital currency in either this year or by next year, and implementing a 30% tax on crypto, gold imports by India recently hit a decade high. And then we take a look at this. India's CBDC will see the light of day during the next financial year, while income generated from crypto should be taxed at 30%. Isn't it a shame that that bad tennis match we've been watching with India over crypto is further along than we are in the United States? It gets worse. Crypto mom Hester Peirce has expressed concerns that the SEC's proposed rule changes for securities trading platforms could threaten DeFi. Well, I think Hester understands this, and I think this is her nice way of saying it, and I'm just going to say it the way it needs to get said. Well, of course it is. This is the goal. Gary Gensler comes from Goldman Sachs. The idea of suppressing DeFi and threatening to sue the likes of Coinbase, I believe, is the motivation to drive these particular opportunities back into the hands of the banks. It is to stop the exchanges from pursuing DeFi lending and all of the yields and this, that, and the other that come along with it, in order to get the regulation done first so the banks can actually bring it into their business model instead. Just a thought. Sheila Warren, a former executive at the World Economic Forum, has been tapped to join the Crypto Council for Innovation as its CEO. Remember, Sheila Warren worked on the policymaker toolkit for implementing central bank digital currencies at the World Economic Forum, where she cited JPM Coin and XRP as a solution for inter and intrabank settlement of central bank digital currencies. She was also a recent speaker at the most recent Swell event. Here we see Perianne Boring here, who's going to lay it down. She's got a few things to say, and I do want to remind people that Perianne Boring in the Chamber of Digital Commerce has been absolutely voiceless on the SEC and Ripple case, and it is despicable. Makes one wonder, who are they really representing at these government meetings and hearings? Is it just Bitcoin and Ethereum, Perianne? Let's hear what she's got to say.
In March of 2013, FinCEN, who's a department within the Treasury, that was the first agency to come out and issue guidance for digital assets and said they would be regulated as currency. And then the IRS came out and said, well, we're going to tax them as property. And now the SEC has jurisdiction over digital assets that are defined as securities. And then you have the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, regulates other digital assets as commodities. So that's 4 legal frameworks that all have a very large regulatory requirements if you're defined in those ways. So this whole of government approach to bring coordination in a formal way to that process is something that could help streamline a lot of these regulatory friction points for innovators today.
Now, as disappointed as I am on the voiceless approach to the SEC Ripple case, she's got it right here, doesn't she? We have 4 different approaches from 4 different agencies. And this is why, if you haven't seen the video from this morning, you really should go watch that video, because I'm telling you, it is this article right here from Brownstein that is saying, basically back in October of last year, President Biden was mulling the executive order even back then on cryptocurrencies and what to watch out for. And here is what to watch out for. I've got it right here. And it is this, and it's basically right here. And it is the fact that FSOC, from the regulatory agency connected to the United States Treasury, as well as OFAC, the foreign sanction side of that regulatory agency connected to the Treasury as well, can really come in and determine that cryptocurrencies create or increase the risk of significant liquidity, credit, or other problems spreading among financial markets of the United States. This has all been added and emphasized added because it was brought in by the Dodd-Frank rule, the last economic collapse that we had. FSOC's broad authorities under the Dodd-Frank Act may prove to be the battleground for the future of regulation of digital assets because of its broad super regulatory powers. Let me just go further to explain this, that SEC, CFTC are market regulators. FSOC and OFAC are prudential regulators, which means they can draft regulations and existing laws and govern in all of these things, and they can craft new regulations of cryptocurrencies without Congress's approval. Don't believe it. It's still true. They are not market regulators. They are a regulatory body connected to the Treasury, and they are the head of the president's working group. And Janet Yellen has said, as we've reported here on the show, if Congress doesn't get the job done with stable coins and crypto, they will. And that's where we are on this day. And before I go, I do want to remind you, you can go to federalreserve.gov/apps/forms/CBDC, and you can fill out here feedback form on why there should be a public-private relationship for a stable coin for retail-facing consumers and a CBDC wholesale back end, and they should consider using XRP as a bridge currency on the XRP ledger. It's about 20 comments on there you can fill out, and you'll be off to the races and send in your thoughts. I just did. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, head on a swivel out here. You just never know. Great products and services I use each and every day out here, and I got all the links to the things that I use under every video that I have, and they are trusted, vetted links with great specials and deals. But you got to click the links. I'll catch you on the next one.